Hey, Ryan. Hi, Lee. Hi, Pratima. Caitlin is here. Amara. I'm not sure who RB is, but welcome. All right, so we do want to make sure everybody's mics are off just so it doesn't confuse the video. If I can see you, thumbs up that you can hear me okay. Yay. Awesome. All right, so let's get started. If we have people joining us as they come in, they can do so. So thanks for being here, you guys. It turned into a beautiful day. The sun came out. So I just want to give us another nice, gentle, fluid class to kind of reduce stress in the body, the mind. I know it's really challenging sometimes to practice from home. One of the many benefits of practicing at a studio is we go into a space and we're kind of forced to stay there for the hour or however long. And we make you turn your phones off and really be centered. So now that you're at home, it's going to take a lot more self-discipline to stay on your mat and stay focused for the next hour or so. So do your best, but really try to just stay concentrated within the four corners of your space, whatever that looks like for you, and try to let all the other distractions go. And again, a big thank you to Adit and Jonathan for making all of this happen. So like I said, if you have props, you can gather them up. I have two nice big books here that I made as a second yoga block because I only have one. We may or not use them. A bath towel or a blanket, and any types of pillows from your bed or your sofa that you might want. If you attended my class the other day, we started in supported fish pose, Salamba Matsyasana. It is a nice big stretch for the chest and the heart, helps open up the shoulders, and kind of counters all the forward folding and flexion we do. So I want us to get set up for that same pose this evening. The more extreme version of this pose would involve something like 2 yoga blocks. So I have 1 yoga block I'm placing on its medium setting in front of my doctored books as blocks. So this is one option. Another option is to take your bath towel or a folded blanket and fold it so it's in a longer shape like so. This is going to be a very mild version of this pose. And I can also place that towards the back of my mat. I want your prop, the short end of it, whether it's a block, a blanket, to hit you right between the shoulder blades. Not down here in the lumbar spine. I want this to be relaxing down to the ground. We really want to elevate the chest and the heart. So when I come down onto my prop, I'll try to align myself the best I can, use my elbows, and I'm going to slide it right between my shoulder blades. And then I'm going to release my upper spine and head on my props. There is a little bit of headward fall in this pose. So if that's okay on your head and neck, do so. So again, we're elevating the back of the heart, stretching the front of the chest. You're going to try to let your shoulders hang away from your prop. If you're on your yoga blocks or a higher version, same thing. Option to simply lie flat to the ground and just energetically stretch the chest and heart open. Now for the legs, some of us might want to keep the knees bent up and falling together. You can also stretch your legs all the way out in more of a shavasana. If you have a pillow or a bolster, you may also place that underneath the legs. Supported fish pose. And this can be a pretty big stretch for some of us. So once you get into the pose, I just want you to take a nice deep breath. And then as you exhale, allow the back of the head to relax. Start to feel the weight of the shoulders, the elbows, and the backs of your hands flop towards the ground. Make your adjustments, so loosen the clothing. If you have ponytails, adjust those. Close the eyes and start to redirect the attention inward. We'll start with a mental scan of the physical body. Start from the crown of your head and work all the way down to your fingertips and toes. We're consciously releasing any unnecessary tension or tightness you might find in our body. So I want you to soften the muscles of the face, poof the cheeks, relax the mouth, the tongue, the jaw. Feel this opening here across the front of the chest and the heart. And then again, allow the weight of your arms to flop down to the floor. Let the shoulders and elbows sink towards the ground. Relax the belly completely, all the way down the back, vertebra by vertebra. Softening around the hips, the buttocks. And then whatever position your legs are in, relax all the way down the legs, through the knees into the ankles, feet, and toes. And as you are mentally moving through your body this evening, if we come across areas that we might be healing or taking care of, let's pause on those areas for one nice round of healing breath. And as you exhale, allow those areas to relax as well. Remembering every day is a new day. We let go of judgment, expectations, and we practice ahimsa, or nonviolence, towards ourselves and our body in our practice. And now let's begin to spread this awareness to the rhythm of the breath. Simply observe and watch your body breathe in. And observe and watch your body breathe out. So if you're in supported fish pose, you know that this will change your breath a little bit. It's really stretching the front of the chest and the rib cage. So the inhalation is a little bit more exaggerated, a little bit more open. But the exhale is just as important. So take the time to also follow that breath back out of the body. Ideally, we're breathing as smoothly and evenly in and out through the nose. And anytime the mind wanders, it becomes distracted, we gently bring it back to the breath, bring it back to the four corners of your mat or your space. Let's all take one more nice deep breath. Your next inhale might be your biggest inhalation of your day yet. Really filling yourself all the way up to the brim with fresh air, prana, and energy. And your next exhale might be your biggest breath out of today. Really empty the body, clean out the lungs of stale old air and energy. Awareness comes back into the physical body now. Just notice and feel any sensations in and around the body. I'm going to have us come off the yoga props. If you're higher up on your yoga blocks or books, you can tuck the chin and peel your body upwards to slide your props out. If you're further down to the ground on a prop, you can roll to one side and remove your props that way. Wherever you are, I want us to come back down, lying flat to the floor. So once the props are out of the way, we'll all come back down to the ground. You always have the option to support the back of the head. Well, mostly. So So lying flat to our yoga mat. Again, adjust your clothing, adjust the hair. Bring the arms flat down to the ground with the insides of the legs touching here. Bring your arms down beside you, palms down. Slide the shoulder blades under. And on our breath in, we're going to extend the arms overhead. Flex your feet, so spread your toes nice and wide. Full long body stretch. Stretch your right side a little longer than your left. Stretch your left side a little longer than your right. And then stretch everything out here. On the exhale, we're going to float our arms down. Walk your feet in. Draw the belly in and draw your knees up and in. Give your back a little massage here before we start some more gentle movement. Drop the feet back down to the ground close to the sit bones, and I want the insides of your feet and knees to be touching if possible. So the knees are bent, but the insides of the feet and knees are touching. Draw your arms straight up towards the ceiling. Bring your palms to touch, so you're splaying the back of the heart. I call this pose opening and closing the book pose. It's like moving through Baddha Konasana. On your inhale, let your arms and your knees fall open, nice and wide. Clear your space as needed. As you exhale, re-engage, close the knees and the arms, stretching the back of the heart. So the inhale takes you into a wide Baddha Konasana through the front of the chest and inner thighs. The exhale, use your muscles to squeeze everything back together. And I want you moving at your own rhythm and pace. Inhaling to open, exhaling to close. The next time your knees and arms are open in this wide Baddha Konasana, you can draw the soles of the feet together. Continue to extend your fingertips out to the sides of the room and just enjoy this opening for the chest, the front of the shoulders, and inner thighs. One more big breath in. Your exhale will close your book, bringing the palms and knees back to touch. Float your arms down beside you. Open your feet and your knees 4 to 6 inches apart, so hips width. Take your yoga block or book, if you have it, between your thighs. Otherwise, just energetically pretend like you're squeezing a ball between your thighs. Setu Bandhasan, a flowing version this evening. Draw your shoulder blades under. Flowing bridge pose. I do not want you turning your head and neck like I keep doing to talk to the microphone. Try to keep your head in neutral, one spot on the ceiling. Arms down beside you, palms down again. Strengthen your back side to stretch your front. So you'll squeeze your glutes. You'll press to the feet and the backs of the arms, and you'll inhale, float your hips up to the ceiling. On the exhale, you're going to lower the hips back down. Inhale, breathing, engage the back muscles, the glutes, press down to rise up. Feel the stretch to the front of the quads, hip flexors, gentle inversion. Exhale, bring it back down. So keep going with your rhythm and breath. More shoulder massage. Inhale, float your hips up. The arms re-extend up and overhead. All the weight moving into the shoulders, not the neck. Exhale, hips down, float your arms down. Keep going. When you're lifting up, the chest can move towards the chin, but avoid tucking the chin to the chest. Try a couple more. This should feel quite nice, especially for those muscles in the upper back. Getting a nice strengthening feeling through the back side of the body and a big counter stretch to all the flexion in the front of the body. Good. Now the next time you lift your hips up, I want you to hold there, bridge pose. So you're squeezing the back, float your hips up. If you've brought your arms overhead, bring your arms back down. They keep lifting the hips up. Try to interweave all 10 fingers underneath your back to the floor. You can bring the shoulder blades a little closer together. This is a pretty energizing pose, but it can also be a restorative posture, redirecting our blood flow into the throat, the head. Take one more big breath in. On your exhale, release your grip, melt the body back down to the ground. Once your low back is flat to the floor, go ahead and just windshield wipe your knees side to side a couple times. Bring your knees to neutral, draw the belly in, hug the knees in. Let's stretch both of our legs up to waterfall pose for a moment. You can massage up and down the backs of those hamstrings, behind the knees, point and flex the feet. If the knees are bent due to tight hamstrings, bring your hands behind those thighs, press your thighs into your hands, and try to straighten your legs more out at an angle. Another gentle inversion here, really healthy for our brain and our body. One more pose before we transition, Supta Konasana. Try to open your legs nice and wide. Hands support the outside of your thighs. Roll your feet a couple times. Deeper stretching, move your hands to the inside. Feel free to massage those muscles and let gravity stretch out the inner thigh and growing muscles. Head in neutral, shoulders grounded, low back grounded. Big breath in. Exhale, squeeze those legs back up to waterfall pose. Bend the knees. Rolling to one side. If you're rolling to the right, bring your right arm beside the head. Roll all the way to the side of the body and pause here. So you can rest the arm on, or the head on your arm, sorry, and the left hand in front of the heart. Just pause for a moment. And then turn the heart towards the ground, extend the top leg, pressing down to bring your body up. All right, so we warmed up some of the lower half of the body, got into some of these shoulder movements. We'll be in a seated posture here for a few poses. I'd like you to sit up on something, a pillow, a couple folded blankets. I'm gonna use my meditation cushion, even your books. Find your sit bones. Sukhasana, easy cross in the legs. Siddhasana, heel to heel, or any other position in your legs that's best for your body. Draw the low belly in, lift and lengthen the whole front of the spine, the whole back of the spine. Float your ears over your shoulders, no tension in the face, the mouth, or the throat. Shoulders over the hips. Then reach your arms out beside you, palms up. On the inhale, simply float your arms up towards the ceiling, stretching the side bodies here. Turn the palms out. Exhale, float the fingertips down. Good. Let's do that again. Just a simple centering breath. Big breath in. Big breath out. Upavishta Trikonasana, keep the fingertips extended to the ground. Inhale, right arm up. Keep your sit bones rooted, belly in, lean to your left. We'll hold this pose for several breaths, so continue to breathe. I'm gonna give options here. A little bit more shoulder stretching. Bow the heart and the head towards your left knee and reach your right fingertips more forward. You'll feel that more in the upper back. You can stay in your lateral plane, just stretching the side body, heart and head face forward. Or spiral the heart open, bringing that right shoulder back and gazing upwards. Feel free to explore those options. And we're really just trying to stretch out any tension and tightness we find. Good. The whole time you're engaging through your core to support your back. Big breath in. Big breath out. Let your next inhale reach you up out of the pose. Switch hands. So your left fingertips down, your right fingertips down, left arm up, sit bones rooted, lean it over to your right. So now you'll feel the stretch along your whole left side. Stay in this lateral plane or dive forward, stretching out the upper back and shoulder. Heart rolls open to stretch the front of the chest and shoulder. And any other natural movement that feels good for your body tonight. One more breath. Let the inhale bring the body back up to neutral. Palms touch, exhale to heart. Notice which foot is in front. I want you to switch up your feet if it's available. Opposite foot in front. Find your sit bones. Hands to heart, interweave all 10 fingers. You can switch to that funky grip if you're thinking about it. Exhale, push your palms forward, purposely round out the back. So we're going into purposeful flexion here. I'm scooping, tucking, and rounding. Inhale, tips your pelvis forward, float the arm bones up, extend the back. Keep going with your breath. Exhale, scoop, tuck, and round. Another great stretch to stretch out the back of the heart and shoulders. Inhale. Tip the pelvis forward. Try to stretch up as high as you can. One more. Next time you inhale, arms up. We'll meet there. Open the hands. Active twist. Exhale, twist to your right. Keep your shoulders and chin in a nice neutral position. Arms float down. You can peek behind you. Inhale, bring the whole body back up to center. Keep this length. Exhale, rotate and twist to your left. The head and the eyes can follow. One more to each side. Inhaling, lengthening. Exhale, nice big squeeze and twist. Use your muscles. Open your eyes nice and wide. Peek behind you. Inhale, reach it up. And another big twist to your left. Bring everything up. Inhale, we'll meet back into our center. Palms touch. Exhale to heart. All right, so let's take a moment to transition our body to tabletop. Walk forward over your legs or simply stretch your legs out in front of you and transition that way. Add extra cushion for the knees if you want it. If you're on a yoga mat, you can tuck the middle of your back 3 to 4 inches. Place your kneecaps on that, especially if you're on a harder surface like I am, like a hardwood floor. Spread those fingers as wide as you can, hands as broad as your shoulders. Stack your shoulders over your wrists. Strong arms, so push into the ground. Draw low belly in to support your low back. Thigh bones perpendicular to the floor. Knees and feet 4 to 6 inches in between those, hips width apart. Be mindful of the head. When it wants to hang heavy, look slightly forward. Extend your right leg back from your hip, keeping your hips and low back nice and level. Squeeze your right side to hover the right leg parallel to the floor. I want you actively flexing that right foot, toes pointing to the ground. Add the left arm, palm in, thumb up. So this does turn into a balancing pose, spinal integration. Take one more breath in. Exhale, hand and knee comes down. There should not be a lot of shifting in your body, especially if you're engaged through the core. Left side, left leg stretches back. Draw that low belly in. Squeeze your muscles to lift your left leg parallel to the floor. Foot is flexing. Mind the head. Right arm reaches forward, palm in, thumb up. Big breath in. Exhale, tabletop. At any time we're on our wrists, you can take Hasta Bandha. If you're not sure what that looks like, you can look here for a moment. You're on your fingertips, the knuckles are rounding, or you can take a strong punching fist and place your fists underneath your shoulders. The palms would face each other. So flat palms, fingertips, or fists for wrists are your options. Let's go through a couple cat-cows. Inhale, relax the belly, lift and lengthen from the tail to the crown of your head. Exhale, draw the belly in, scoop, tuck, and round your back up to the ceiling. Breathe that breath up and down the spinal column. Add any other movement here in your shoulders, hips, neck, whatever you feel like you need to clean out, remove, and let go of any tension or tightness. And if it feels good to hang out on one of those a little bit longer, then you hang out one of those a little bit longer. No worries. So let's come back to neutral position after you balance yourself out. Come off the wrist completely here and sit back into your child's pose. If you know what child's pose you like to practice, go right into it. Wide knee, great option. Toes touching, melting the belly, heart, and head to the floor. People that are protecting your knees, if you have a towel, roll it up, or a blanket, place it behind your knee crease and then sit back. Or keep your hips elevated, resting down on your forearms. We want the head to be grounded here. So if the head is not touching your yoga mat, slide stacked fists or your arms or a prop underneath your forehead. And then let the weight of the body sink to the ground, stretching out the whole low back, the hips. Child's pose, great pose to do anytime during the day. We just need to decompress and settle the mind down. But it can also be really great during the evening hours to prepare the body to sleep and calm down. Take one more breath. Next inhale floats the head and the body back up to tabletop. So readjust those knees. We'll move into thread the needle pose. This is going to be a shoulder stretch. Make your modifications and adjustments as needed. We'll start with our right arm. As you inhale, float your right arm out and up, opening the front of the shoulder. As you exhale, you'll dive your right hand behind your left wrist. You will thread it underneath the body, and you're going to come down onto your right shoulder and right ear. We'll hang out for several breaths in this pose, and I'm going to give you some options. Option 1, walk your left hand forward to the front of your yoga mat. Option 2, bring your left hand to your hip, or slide the left arm around your low back into a half bind. There is a balancing option to this pose, and it's very easy to fall out of this pose, so you need to make sure you're in a safe space. If you want to try the balance, you extend your left foot out to the long edge of your mat at an angle and try to stretch it out. So it's not stretching straight back behind you, it's off to the floor, off your mat. Left arm may reach up to the ceiling as well. Wherever you are, take a breath. We want to reverse out of the pose, same way you went into it. So knee comes back down, left hand comes right back down in front of the face. That arm does the work. So push down through the left, look down, inhale, slide your right arm out and up. Exhale, tabletop. Take a couple cat-cows to neutralize your spine. Fingertips, fists for wrists at any time. Come back to neutral spine, other side. Inhale, left arm out and up. Exhale, threads the left arm behind the right wrist. You're lowering down onto your left shoulder and ear. First variation, right hand walks forward to the front of your mat. Right hand to hip, or half bind that arm across your low back. Breathe here, or bring your right foot out to the long edge of your mat and try to straighten the right leg into the balancing version. Right arm can extend up, palm faces forward. Big breath in. Reverse out of your pose, knee, hand, push down through your right hand, look down, slide that left arm out and up. Exhale, tabletop, cat-cow a couple times. From here, tuck your toes under, walk your hands about 1 hand's distance forward. Draw the low belly in. We'll try to press those hips up and back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Anytime, tabletop or child's pose are your options. Downward facing dog, fingers spread nice and wide, as broad as your shoulders. Root down through the mound of your index finger and thumb. Simultaneously externally rotate the upper arm bones. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. Let the neck be long and the head be loose. Round your low belly in, belly towards your thighs. Widen the sit bones, bringing your thighs to the back of the room. And letting your weight fall down the backs of the legs towards the heels. Regardless if they touch or not, let's pedal our heels a couple times, stretching out the back of both legs. So another gentle inversion here, really healthy for the brain. Just be mindful of any blood pressure or heart conditions. Moving into Uttanasana, forward fold, bend the knees. Walk hands to feet or feet to hands, however you want to get there tonight. Keep a lot of strength and energy in your feet and legs. My low back people, you may place your elbows on your thighs for support. To intensify this stretch, take hold of your elbows and let the upper half of the body hang down. But strong thighs, Mula Bandha, your pelvic floor is lifting in and up. Uddiyana Bandha, lower abdominal muscles are pulling in and up. Let the lower half of your body do the work so the upper half of your body can relax down to the ground. We're still in an inversion here. If you'd like to sway your shoulders or relax the head and neck, do so. Just kind of let the weight of the world melt off our shoulders here for a moment. Little back strengthening, our halfway lifts. So on your inhale, slide your hands up the legs, float your chest, activate the muscles of the back. So I want you to draw your shoulder blades together. Exhale, forward fold. So we're using gravity to strengthen here. Inhale, contract the back, especially the upper back. Extend the front of the spine. Exhale, fold. If you want more, inhale, lift, add your Shalabhasana arms. So arms extend straight back behind you alongside of the torso. Exhale, fold. Let's all do one more. Inhale, halfway lift. Stretch the crown of the head forward, really engage your back. Exhale, sit back to Utkatasana. Arms will float forward and up. So you're sitting back in that invisible chair. Have a look at your feet. They should be running a nice straight parallel line to each other. Your knees should be pointing towards the middle of the feet. Let's bring our hands to heart. Draw that low belly in, root the tail, and lift your chest into the heart. This is a powerful pose. Sometimes it's called chair pose, but it actually translates to fierce, as in strong. Little balance work here. Focus your gaze or your drishti. Try to lift your right foot from the floor. Bringing that foot down. See if you can get your left foot to hover from the floor. Bring both feet back down to the ground. Maybe sink a little further down. Big inhale. Reach your arms all the way out and overhead, extended mountain. Bring your palms to touch. Exhale your hands to your heart. We'll continue with a little bit more balancing work here, so make sure you have a safe space around you. Feet still parallel. You can pick up your toes, fire your quads, pull up through the pelvic floor and the lower abdominals. Let the head float on top of the shoulders. Big breath in, re-extend your arms up. This time try to lift your heels up, palms touch. Exhale, heels down, hands to heart. Palm tree pose, keep going with your breath. Big breath in to lift and lengthen. Exhale. Try one more with your breath and body. We'll meet on the exhale, bringing the body back down. Open your feet a tad wider here. Star pose, lean to your right. Now push your right leg through the floor so your right side is nice and strong. You should feel your left side want to get a little lighter. So try to lift and lower your left toes a couple times. When you're ready, hover the left foot. Hover your arms up beside you and try to softly float on your right leg. A little bit more power, spread your toes and your fingers and reach out in the four directions of your room. Line balancing, blink your eyes, eventually closing your eyes completely, just be safe. Big breath in. On your exhale, I want you to land as softly as you can. Go right into Tadasana. No fidgeting, keep your focus, keep your concentration. Inhale, arms up. Exhale to your center, lean to your left. Now push the left leg through the floor. All your power is energizing through this side. Right side gets light. Lift and lower the right toes. Hover, soften the arms and see how light you can be. More power, reaching out, Tadasana, star pose, like a big shining star. Muscles are doing the work. Try to blink your eyes or maybe eventually closing the eyes completely. Good, big breath in. The exhale, land as softly as you can, right into Tadasana. No fidgeting, keep your focus. We're trying to center and control our monkey mind. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, back to heart. One more balance this evening. Bring both of the legs together, Vrikshasana. From here, bend up your right heel. Open the right knee out. Sole of the foot, inner ankle or calf. You may reach down and place it above your standing knee if that's what you'd like to do. And then this evening, what I'd like us to try to do from tree pose is inhale, bring the arms up. And as you exhale, bring the arms behind you into a chest expansion. So thinking about the neck and shoulders again, you'll open through the front of the chest and heart. You can also grab your elbows or have your hands on your low back. Next inhale, release your grip, reach up. Palms touch, hands to heart. Bring your right knee forward, lift the thigh up, extend the leg out for 3, 2, 1. Lower down, pause here. Keep your focus. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, back to center. You already know the math. Use your inner teacher to take you to your other side. Explore another version of tree pose, or revisit your chest expansion. Try to interweave your fingertips the opposite way. Face relaxed, steady, even breath. Inhale, breathing, arms reach up. Exhale, back to heart. Point the knee forward. Try to lift the thigh up. Extend the leg out for 3, 2, 1. Lower. Hold your focus. And relax. All right, good job. So I'm going to have you come back towards the front of your yoga mat if you've moved around in your space or wherever you're practicing. And we'll come back into our more traditional Tadasana. So feet hips width apart. Extend your fingertips down away from your shoulders. Float those ears on the shoulders, shoulders over the hips. Nice tall spine through the front of the body, back of the body. No jamming the knees back, the energy drawing up the thighs through your lower bandhas. Inhale, reaches the arms up. You can gaze upwards if you'd like a gentle extension of the spine. Exhale, micro bend your knees, hinge from your hips, and swan dive back down to your forward fold. Whatever that looks like for you. You can swing the arms, ragdoll, loosen up the head, the neck, the shoulders. Our inhale floats us to one more halfway lift. Engage the muscles of the back. Exhale, bend knees, plant hands. Take a big step back, one leg at a time. Plank pose. Choose your pleasure. Full arm plank, fingers spread wide as your shoulders. Kneeling plank. The energy, that line is still from the crown of the head through the hips to the knees. If you take care of your wrists, come down onto your forearms and practice forearm plank. Don't cheat. I can see some of you, kind of. We're gonna hold for 30 seconds tonight. That's it. We can do anything for 30 seconds. So smile, plank pose. Hold, I'll give us options again. So those of us that want, try to lift your right leg up. Bring it down. Try to lift your left leg up. Bring it down. Right arm reaches forward. Bring it down. Left arm. Bring it down. We're almost there already. Keep pushing into the ground. Compact your hips. Draw that low belly in. Keep the head up for 5, 4, 3, 2, big breath in, big breath out. Inhale, hips float up and back to downward facing dog or tabletop or child's pose. Stretch it out. We did a little bit more than 30 seconds, so good job. Down dog, people. Pedal your heels. Draw that belly in and back. Let the head relax between the upper arms. Let's all try to lift our heels up as high as we can, stretching out the toes and the feet. Next exhale brings us back into Balasana, child's pose. More traditional child's pose, the knees stay touching, bowing the head, bring hands to feet. That will help take any pressure out of the wrists and the shoulders. Pause wherever your body wants to be. Next inhale, extend the hands forward, float your body back up. Either walk your feet back or hands forward. Come all the way down to your belly. Belly, belly, belly. So if you need to adjust on your mat, do so. Now look, this next pose is kind of funky. It's a big shoulder stretch. So if you want to sit up and just watch the video first, and then I'll redo the instructions, you can. Modify, don't ever force or push your body into the pose. It can feel really nice for the front of the shoulders, but we just want to take it easy. So if you're watching, let me show you first, and then I'll guide us back into the pose. We'll start with the right arm extended right out from the shoulder to the ground, palm down. I'm going to take my left hand down to the ground, and I'm rolling onto my right side. So let's see if I can scooch so you can see that a little bit better. Rolling onto my right side. Maybe I need a folded blanket underneath my right ear. This might be enough for some of us. If you want more, I'll bend my left knee up and place it down to the ground. I might even be able to bend both knees up. So I'm stretching out this whole right shoulder. I might be able to bring my left arm up, flip the palm, and interweave my fingers behind me. Okay, so let me guide you into that pose again. If you were watching, we're lying flat on our belly. You'll bring your right arm straight up from your shoulder, palm down. The left hand pushes down into the ground to roll you onto your right. Let me do it from this side too so you can see. And I might just hang out on the right side. Or bend your left knee up, place it behind you. Head can relax towards the ground. I like having a little pillow underneath my head. Maybe try to bend the right knee up as well. Left arm can come up, and maybe try to reach behind you. The only place I have any natural flexibility is in my shoulders for whatever reason. Everything else, I'm like stiff as a board. So again, we're all built a little differently, so we just work with what we got. But this is a really great pose to help stretch out the front of the shoulder, the chest, where we always kind of hunch, tuck, and round, especially now that we're all staring at our little screens all day long. Take one more breath. Depending where you are in the pose, just reverse out of it. Go through all your steps. Re-extend the legs. Bring the left hand down, roll back onto your belly. You can place the arms underneath your forehead and just neutralize there. So other side, left arm reaches straight out from your shoulder, palm down. Right hand to the ground. I'm going to roll onto my left side. Support the head if you need it. Right knee bends up, foot to the floor, maybe. Left knee bends up, maybe. Right arm up, behind, reach around, and grab. This is one of those poses that one side can feel quite different than the other. Use a nice, even, steady breath in your body. One of my favorite poses. Try one more breath. Take your time, reverse out, step by step. Neutralize by lying flat on your belly. Give your hips a little wiggle. And then we're gonna do one more funky pose since we're on our belly. So I'm turning just so, again, if you want a visual, you can see me. I got too much stuff back here. This pose is called tying the knot pose. So we're on our belly. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, elbows in, chin forward. Inhale, float up to Bhujangasana, Cobra pose. Slide your elbows forward so that you're in Sphinx pose. Let me readjust. I'll move around again so you have a different visual. So Sphinx pose, I'm knifing the pinky edge of my hands down. I'm stretching the crown of my head forward and up. Wonderful pose to decompress the spine, bulging discs, all that fun stuff. Relax your hips. From here, plant your right palm forward to the ground in front of you. Let me scooch back a little bit more. I want you to be able to see me. Right palm down, arm is straight. Left hand is going to cross under. This is not thread the needle. Do not twist and turn and drop down to your left shoulder. But do try to straighten your left arm a little bit. Now bring your right fingertips over to your left. Your shoulders should be squaring straight forward. I'm not twisting and turning. I'm tying my arms into a knot. Now you can continue to try to walk your hands away from each other, okay? I'm going to turn back to the side. So I had you do right hand, left arm. So your right hand is in front, yeah. So if you want more, and this isn't quite enough for you yet, drop your chin down. You can also tuck your toes under and push the body forward over your arms. Now you're stretching out the outside, the deltoids, and the outer arms and shoulders. And if it's really intense, back out a little bit, use your exhale, take a breath. Two, come out. Float the head up. Walk your right hand back out in front of you. Push down so you can slide the left arm out. Bring your palms together. Stretch out in Makarasana. You can drop your forehead to the floor and just relax. Hands under the shoulders. Use your back. Inhale, Bhujangasana. Exhale, elbows slide forward, Sphinx pose. This time, bring your left palm forward. Take your right fingertips and walk your arm under without twisting. Don't twist the body. Just try to straighten the arm out under the chest. Left hand walks down, and then you start to walk your hands out to the long edges of your yoga mat. Chin can drop down. More stretching, tuck your toes under and push off your toes to push the body slightly forward over those arms. And just breathe. To release, head up. Walk your left fingertips, press off your left hand. Right arm comes out. Stretch your arms forward, palms touch, relax your head. You can relax your hips, Makarasana, neutralize the back, the body. Hands under shoulders, tuck those toes, squeeze your elbows in, engage your core, and try to push back up, kneeling or full plank. Exhale, knees down, stretch back, child's pose. And go easy into your child's pose. We just did some back bending, so slowly sink into it. Let your muscles gently stretch. Hands under shoulders, tuck the chin, round up. Knee people, just transition through tabletop instead of sitting back on your heels. Shift your weight to one side, bring your feet forward. So it's time to come on to our backs. Finally, well, I guess we started there. Have space behind you. If you are taking care of your low back, safest way to come down, use your hands, walk yourself down, roll onto your back and hang out there. Those of us that would like a little bit more strengthening this evening for the core, sit up, plant the soles of the feet, feet are touching, knees fall open, draw the belly in, scoop the tail, reach forward, and you try to slowly come down, vertebra by vertebra. Don't compromise the back. Once we've rolled down to our shoulders and our head, everyone extend your arms overhead and press your heels forward to the front of your mat. Spread your fingers, spread your toes, stretch out the whole body. Whole right side, whole left side. Exhale, float the arms down. Walk the feet in. Tuck the shoulders in. And make your adjustments. Pull your knees in to massage. So I'm going to give you the next 3 minutes or so to kind of do whatever you want. Stretching back up to waterfall for an inversion, opening, happy babying. You can windshield wipe and take a gentle twist. Take the next few minutes for whatever you feel like your body wants to do this evening before our final Shavasana. So when we're ready to start preparing for our final Shavasana, please take the time to do this pose. You can do it with me. I would be delighted. I will verbally guide us through the first portion of the pose and then give us several minutes to just rest quietly before I will use my singing bowl, which will sound like this, so you know. If you can hear that, to come out. Gather up any goodies you want for this final pose. Pillows, blankets, washcloths for your eyes or eye coverings. It can feel quite nice for the low back to elevate the thighs or the knees. Please give your head and neck support as needed. Make sure everything is nice and loosened up. Legs can flop open. Arms can roll open beside the body, turning the palms up to the ceiling and allowing the fingertips to curl up naturally. And if you have to rearrange things, rearrange things. Get as comfortable as you can. Once you're in your comfortable place, give your head a little rock side to side here. Find the very back center of the skull. Close the eyes. Let the eyes sink into the sockets. Smoothing the skin of the forehead, the brow, and the eyebrow center. Poof the cheeks, wiggle out the mouth, tongue, and jaw. Relax the throat. Soften the heart and the chest. Feel the weight of the arms get heavy and sink into the ground. From the shoulders to the elbows, elbows to the wrists. Relax the centers of the palms as the fingertips curl up naturally. Relax the belly completely. All of the internal organs. Relax all the way down the back, vertebra by vertebra. Soften the large muscles of the hips, the buttocks, the thighs. And let that relaxation flow like water through the knees, into the ankles and feet. Soften the soles of the feet. Relax all of the toes, the space between the toes. Relax the whole body. Relax the inside of the body. The breath is easy, quiet, and calm. If the mind wanders away, bring it back to the peaceful breath. And for just one more moment this day, we give ourselves permission to let go. Feel a sense of surrender and sink into Shavasana. Gently come back to the breath. Breathing life back into the body. You can start to wake up the toes and the fingertips. Rock the head from side to side. Roll your ankles and wrists. Stretching the arms overhead. Spread the fingers and toes. Lengthen the right side. Lengthen the left. Float the arms down. Walk the feet in. Hugging knees in to massage the back. Traditionally pausing on our right side. You're welcome to go to whatever side is best. Rolling to the right, right arm falls beside the head. Rolling all the way over. Cradling the head on the arm, and the left hand can fall to the floor in front of the heart. Reflecting on our practice this evening. And maybe setting a positive intention or mantra to take with us off our mat back into the evening. Eyes closed or soft, turn the heart to the ground, stretch the top leg out, bring the body back up. We will revisit any comfortable seated posture on your mat and finish our practice with just a couple more nice big breaths together tonight. Sit up tall to the crown of the head, mind your space. Extend the arms out from beside the body, palms up. Inhale, reach those arms up to the ceiling, and let's gather up everything we need for the rest of our night. Turn those palms back out. Exhale, float the arms all the way back down, and let go of all that other junk we don't need. And one more big breath in together, reaching up. Palms touch. Exhale, hands to heart. Humbly bow the head down to the heart to honor and thank ourselves and our bodies for our practice tonight. And remembering to be grateful and thankful to anyone else in our life that made it possible for this practice to happen tonight. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Peace, peace, peace. And I thank each and every one of you for your patience, your practice, for maybe trying something scary and new, because this is scary and new for me, but it is wonderful to be able to do this with you all.